Hello, I'm Galen, and hey, I'm actually making another video. I hope you're doing well. In this video, something I wanted to talk about is finding the fun in art again, or at least trying to. For a decent chunk of time, I've been not really enjoying drawing as much anymore. And that's not because I don't love drawing anymore, I still very much do, but it's kind of started to lose its spark for a number of reasons. For you, if you've been feeling the same way, whatever reasons will differ from person to person, but I've just found it not quite as fun anymore. Thankfully, more recently, that's started to come back, and that's what I wanted to talk about. This isn't gonna be The purpose for this video is not to be gloomy or just to complain. I wanted to share a little bit of how I've been trying to find the fun in drawing again. So let me start with going back to when I recorded the drawing that you're seeing on screen now. I think I did this last month, maybe a month or two ago. And it was around 2 a.m. I think. I couldn't sleep and I just wasn't feeling so great in general. And I wanted to draw, but also wasn't feeling like drawing the usual stuff I do, and just wanted to change it up a bit. I was just feeling really tired of drawing and life in general, and wanted to draw something that was kind of reflecting my mood. And sometimes in the mornings, I like to have coffee outside on some steps, and usually my cat will join me and either sit next to me or on my lap. So that thought crossed my mind, and I figured I'd want to draw something inspired from that. And when I'm not feeling very well, having my cat around while I'm drinking coffee gives me some comfort. So what I decided to do was draw somebody sitting on some steps with the chunky cat doing that funny pose that they do sometimes, that my cat does as well, when they sort of slouch over and it looks funny. So that's the little idea I had for the drawing that's playing in the background. The rest of the video won't be so much about the drawing. I just had this recording here, so I wanted to play it in the background. To get back to not feeling so great about drawing and losing some of that spark, I just wasn't really feeling very connected with anything I was drawing, and having self-doubts about being an artist and doing it as a career. But I love drawing so much that I don't want to give this thing up that I love so much, but at the same time I also needed a bit of a break from it. So I really struggle taking a break from drawing. I believe it's a common experience with artists that if you build up an identity around yourself being an artist and drawing all the time, if you decide to take a break, that can kind of sting a lot. You may experience some guilt and imposter syndrome, whether that's your belief in yourself that you should be drawing every day or something like that, which is a slippery slope to go on. And I've been trying to do some work on myself to separate my ego and self-worth from how much drawing and how good my drawing is. Drawing will always be a part of me. I am an artist, but I don't want that. That is not everything that I am and you are. We are more than just the title we give ourselves of being a person who draws. And it's okay to take a break if you need to. Well, I still draw a lot. I've been trying to allow myself to take a break if I feel I need to. From my personal art anyway, I do art for commissions as a living. So if you're doing art for work, you just gotta do what you gotta do to keep on living. But for the personal art side of it, I've been trying to ease off on myself a little more, to give myself some space to breathe when I need it. And I've been thinking a lot about the kind of drawings I want to make, what I actually care about and what interests me. And I found that a lot of my inner confliction of being an artist comes from a side of me that is a bit of a people pleaser, which I really don't like. And I've been trying to work on that. And basically just trying to figure out what I as a person and an artist want out of life and my drawings. What's been helping me lately getting back into feeling more connected with my drawings is rediscovering some old interests and passions that I haven't really been digging into as much anymore. And that as well will vary a lot from person to person, but an example for me is cinematography and music. I was always drawing a lot when I was younger. It was always something that I liked. But before I decided that drawing was going to be something that I pursued more intentionally and fully dive into learning more about it, my first passions and interest were movies. I love movies a lot and cinematography, and I was always interested in learning about different angles and lighting, and that, I believe, was the first spark that got me interested in art and drawing. While still something I think about, haven't really incorporated fully into drawing. Like, I'll think about angles and lighting and stuff like that in art because that's a part of it. But more recently, I've been getting interested again in actual cinematography, and how that came about actually is I was watching a person on YouTube who's a filmmaker doing some reaction and breakdowns of cinematics in video games. And so I've been thinking about how I would like to put more of a cinematic feel into my drawings. So that's something I'm currently exploring, and I do want to make a video about that, but I need to finish the drawing first. But other than that, also music. I've had a bass guitar for a long time, but I barely ever play it. So I just try to pick it up for like 20 minutes every couple of days and just mess around with it. And that's been fun, messing around with that a bit. I don't know if that's going to affect anything to do with drawing, but just trying some other stuff other than drawing has kind of made things a bit more refreshing. And I don't know exactly how it's working, but I just feel that somehow that is a part of what is making me feel a bit better about drawing again. I don't really know, kind of losing my train of thought now on what this video is anymore. But anyway, I actually wrote down some little bullet points on a little notepad so I don't get too distracted. So let me see what the next thing is I wanted to talk about. Taking breaks, I kind of spoke about that already. The next thing, okay, the next thingy I have written down is fear of judgment, change, and failure. So yeah, I found that I have a lot of anxiety about what people think about my art and expectations, judgment, changing, trying different things, enjoying, and how people might react to that, and some projects I want to start and or return to, and I'm scared about failing those, the usual artist stuff that I think everybody goes through at some point. But I'm just so tired of being afraid of all that I just want to try some stuff again and see how it works out, which includes making these YouTube videos again. I'm making this video today. I'm gonna put it out hopefully, and that's enough for now. So I think that's about it I wanted to talk for this. Kind of videos I've been wanting to make is a bit more just casual, sort of not very scripted, just sharing my thoughts. So this isn't really advice or a tutorial. I just wanted to share what was on my mind, and I think that's about all I wanted to talk about in this one. So if anything else, I hope that you liked the little time lapse and or found something interesting or of value in what I spoke about. Let me know. I don't know how to end videos. Uh, I hope that you can find some fun in drawing again. I'm still looking for it. I'm trying to figure it out, but I feel like I'm a little bit more refreshed and enjoying it a little more, and I'm gonna keep discovering what it is I can find to have some more joy in the art practice again, because that's very important. Anyway, thank you. Bye bye. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Maybe.